Hello everyone, welcome to this session organized by Programming Club UIT. So before beginning our session with Geeks for Geeks, we'll take a moment of your time to introduce you to Programming Club UIT. So Programming Club UIT was founded in 2017 by our alumni, uh, and we have been since then a student-run society, helping to educate and elevate the coding standards and technical standards of our college. So, what basically we do not engage in basically teaching coding. We
सर
engage
आवाज
in
नहीं आ
that.
रही है।
Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so basically, we are more of a society than a club. So anyone can join us on our different platforms, and you can ask your queries. Every year, we organize a bunch of sessions throughout the year. Initially, starting with introduction to Linux, then Python, then artificial intelligence, or any other special sessions like web development, and all those sessions we conduct throughout the year. Uh, Basically, we aim to learn ourselves, and our core team is consists of some very talented people who are always giving their time to teach you new things. Uh, we venture into many domains other than just programming. Also, we discuss research papers, talk about latest developments in the field, and we work as a community towards our cause through the wide array of events we host. So the events we host are basically after the initial coming of freshers into the college, we teach them basics of Linux and Python so that they have the tools ready to learn further in artificial intelligence or other domains that they might want to participate in. As most of our team is proficient in artificial intelligence, we start a series of lectures. Uh, am I not?
Continue, you are audible. I think, Mohit,
Okay.
there's an issue from your end.
Okay, so what we basically do is we organize sessions every Saturday, and beginning from starters level, we teach you theory, and we conduct hands-on sessions every Saturday, from starting from March onwards and till like August. And every Saturday we'll teach you about new things in the field of AI, and we at the end of the sessions also we conduct special presentations where you can read a paper and present it as your own. Next thing is we do research Fridays every Friday. So right now, due to exams, they are not being held right now, but in January we'll be beginning them. So research Fridays, what happens is basically every person every week of the community that joins the research Friday has to present a paper or a new ideology of their own. It needs not to be a new idea of their own, it can be any research paper. Basically, it is to promote research within our college. Then from June to August, we hold a Plea Club Summer of Code, which is a similar event to Google Summer of Code. We encourage people, mentors, to put in their projects, and we select them, shortlist the projects with help of our fabulous alumni and judges, and then people can participate in them and start working on their projects. At the end of P Club Summer of Code, you not only get a great experience in open source, but also you get a valid, you build a lot of relationships with the industry leader mentors that you can work with. Then to celebrate open source and software, we hold our most flagship event, which is from 18th to 19th September, called Software Freedom Day. So in Software Freedom Day, basically it is right now, from the past 2 years, it was being held online. Before that, it has been going on for 10 years. It was the 12th edition this year that we held online. Hopefully from next year onwards it will be offline, and we'll be holding it for 2 days in Punjab University. Speakers from all over the world come, and it's a great way to build your relationships with your alumni, and maintain good uh, connections. In October, there is a Hacktoberfest, and we initiate basically encourage people of our college to participate in that event. And in November, recently we held a hackathon called Hack UIT, where prizes were up to worth 2 lakh rupees, and a lot of submissions came in, and we had different categories. So, yeah, now a bit more about AI Saturday. So, basically, we dive into the world of AI and ML starting from very basics. Various algorithms are discussed in these sessions, as well as the mathematics behind them to build a strong foundation. We will be resuming this from January, mainly March. Still, then you guys get your Python and your basic mathematical foundation strong. Research Friday is a weekly event where we discuss the latest papers and try to analyze their impact on the programming world. Everyone is free to present a presentation. Yeah, so next is PSOC. It is an annual event where P Club provides the students from across the country to work with renowned companies and through open source projects. Next is, as I told, Software Freedom Day. It celebrates the importance of open source developments, and speakers from all over the world gather on our platform and participate and enjoy a fun interactive session. Hacktoberfest, it is a worldwide event all over the world. Basically, we encourage our own students to take part in it and do as much contributions as they can. Next is Hack UIT. It was a 48-hour of creation, innovation, and fun. It is a chance for students to test their skills across the students from across the country. So you can join a community on Discord, Instagram, Telegram, and Twitter also. We have a very active Telegram channel where you can ask any of your queries, and we regularly post updates on Discord also and Instagram. So you can join anywhere you like. Apart from this, if you guys have any questions regarding P Club or programming, we have 15 minutes before we begin the session at 5:30, where we can take any questions now.
How many languages you can teach her?
So generally we start with the I was not audible because I had muted. Okay. So generally we initially we start with Linux, because as you know, Linux is the Linux and Bash, they are the industry-wide standard operating systems, and a lot of like a lot of students till their 12th have used Windows, and they do not have much experience with Unix. So we try to teach them basics of Linux, have their machines compatible. So then we move forward with Python. If you are in UIT, you would be learning C in your first semester, and if you are in computer science, you would be learning C++ in your second semester. So we do not teach those languages as they are a part of your curriculum, but Python as an addition we teach because of it is a very necessary language in today's world, from web development to artificial intelligence. Everywhere it is utilized. Apart from this, if you if any one of you is proficient in any technology, then we encourage you to teach your peers through the this P Club platform, and we can hold sessions for you.
Sir, when P Club is going to recruit us?
Okay, so actually, we do not recruit freshers, we recruit from second semesters onwards. The reason being that a lot of you guys are new to this programming and everything, right? Like a few of you would be aware of these things in class 12th, but a lot of you guys are new, and we mainly require people who are proficient because our requirements are teaching. Most of our requirements will be taking sessions and organizing sessions and taking people's queries. So you need to be proficient in order to take someone query, right? So that's why we'll be starting a recruitment from second semester onwards. I encourage you to attend P Club sessions and also to try and learn things on your own, extra things to for the recruitments. Yeah. Do we have any questions in the chat?
Yeah, actually, I am from mechanical engineering department, and I have a question, like very simple one. Uh, do UIT allow students of mechanical to sit in CS placements?
Regarding placements, the thing is actually it depends on the company. So UIT does not bound anyone. It depends on the company. Some companies have a very strict computer science requirement, like they only hire students from computer science branch. Some companies don't have any restrictions, so it totally depends on the company. UIT does not like play a role in that.
Students prior have like from different branches, have they got any placement like in CS? Like have they like seated in
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of some of our alumni who are from electrical branch got placed in Amazon this year and last year also. So I don't think like branch matters if you are trying to get into like a product based company like Amazon, Flipkart or something like that. If you're trying to get in, I don't think branch really matters that much. You should work on your programming skills, your data structure algorithms, and your development skills and all that. But if you are really hell bent into getting into computer science, then you can also like maintain a good CGPA and or sit for like PU Meet exam, and you can upgrade your branch from there. But
yeah,
if you are like only focusing on placements, then you can also go for off campus if like it's really you just want to get placed into a product based company.
like
This will
you
start from second semester or from next Friday.
Which thing? Sessions?
Yeah, you were talking about Linux, so our classes will
Yeah,
start.
so Linux session will begin from Friday onwards and till January. Actually, from 27 December, we're having our majors, the second, third, fourth year. So we won't be available by then. But after our majors and in February, when the new session commences, we'll continue with introduction to Python. And if there is a requirement, we can also continue in like in January. Throughout the holidays, we can conduct online sessions.
we guys actually need to install Linux, or we should just use VirtualBox.
Yeah. So the thing is, VirtualBox does like for initially you can use VirtualBox. Like if you have a very good machine, preferably more than 8 GB of RAM and like a recent processor, 9th gen or 10th gen above that, then what you can use VirtualBox because it would allow you to give sufficient code to that machine. And yeah, and if you but I would recommend to dual boot your system. i5 11th gen 8 GB is all right, but like for like virtual machine it is actually not, because it only allows you to, if it's 8 GB, it will only allow you to give 4 GB to the virtual system. And if you're like web development and everything you can do, But if you're getting into like artificial intelligence, and you're trying to run machine learning models or something like that, then you would actually require all of that 8 GB of RAM.
Actually, I have one question.
I am
Like
having
I have
a question regarding GSOC. When
Yeah.
should
I would
we
recommend
start
like
with?
when all of you to like raise hands so that I can do it like queue wise. Go to the questions. Yeah, Suman Kumari. Yeah, what's your question? Yeah, Akash Deep. Yeah, what's your question?
Hi, hello, sir.
actu- actually
Sir,
recently
आपकी
I've been.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sachin.
can you please
please
mute
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I've been recently into a cloud native hackathon, but that was actually my first hackathon. I really don't know like what project I had to do. Like there wasn't a mentor. So my question is that does all hackathon are like mentorless? Like GSOC have a mentor, I know that, but rather than that, and what should you do when you are like attempting your first hackathon?
So the thing is, GSOC is not really like a hackathon. GSOC is an open source. Basically, you are doing a job while you are in GSOC. GSOC is like a job. You are basically hired by that company and being paid $2,500 to complete that project. So it's not like a hackathon. Is you build something on your own and you show it to people and you get judged and win prizes like that. So for hackathons, I would suggest like you first of all you need to build connections. Like if you're doing it on your own, then it becomes a little bit difficult to build good projects. You need like your peers or seniors. You can go into like Telegram and ask people if anybody is interested in building a team with you. And you can, like if anybody is building a team, you can generally ask on our Telegram channel or Discord, and then you can form teams. And because if they're a group of people, then you'll have brainstorming sessions and you'll come up with good ideas. As such, like there's no like one magic solution like you should make this and you'll win the hackathon, but you have to keep building and you learn from like hackathons is a great way to build projects actually. So yeah.
Can you actually share your GitHub profile like later on maybe?
Yeah, I'll share my details on where, the group, the WhatsApp group. I'll share my details.
Thank you very much.
Okay. MD Nayab. Yeah, let's share it out.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I am
Sir.
having question regarding GSOC. When should we start the preparation? Like after second semester or from first semester itself?
So it's not like you can set like preparation for GSOC. Actually, we'll be holding a session in January, like going through the whole process of how to apply for GSOC and all those things. So first you have to get interested into development and find your domain of choice. That is the first step. Apart from that, like it does later on, if you get selected, that's a bonus, but you have to find like a project, a domain that you're interested in. Like if you're interested in artificial intelligence, start building projects, find open source organizations that are in GSOC and then do those things. Like it's not like you can directly prepare for GSOC. You should go through those things first.
Sir,
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, Sachin.
सर, हमारा नाम सचिन है, हम यूपी इलाहाबाद से हैं। तो सर
Okay.
बात ये है कि जैसा कि सर हमने कभी कोडिंग, ना हैकाथॉन, ना प्रोग्रामिंग कभी कुछ नहीं किया है, तो हम में क्या-क्या प्रॉब्लम फेस कर सकते हैं? मतलब हमारा आईटी ब्रांच है।
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी, ऑलमोस्ट सभी नए होते हैं कॉलेज में जब आते हैं, तो
नहीं
आई
सर,
थिंक आपको
कुछ
कोई प्रॉब्लम
बच्चे
हो।
हैं ना,
और-
वो क्लास में बोलते हैं कि हमने सी लैंग्वेज सीखा है, सी प्लस प्लस लैंग्वेज सीखा है, हैकाथॉन वगैरह किए हैं, तो
हाँ, नहीं तो आप कर कहीं भी जाओगे, किसी ने पहले से उस लाइन में होगा ही ऑलरेडी कोई, तो उससे मतलब आपको वो होने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। आप अपना आराम से अपनी पेस पे काम करो, आप दूसरों से अपने आप को ऐसे कंपेयर मत करो। आप अपना काम स्टार्ट करो, आपको एट द एंड आप अच्छे हो ही जाओगे टाइम के साथ।
मतलब सर प्रॉब्लम फेस नहीं होगी ज्यादातर ना सब।
नहीं नहीं, आप आपकी ब्रांच आईटी है, आपको सिखाएंगे वो सब चीज़ें कॉलेज में। आप अपने उससे सीखो चीज़ें, वो जो भी आप जिस फील्ड में इंटरेस्ट है, प्रोग्रामिंग में, वेब डेवलपमेंट या किसी भी फील्ड में इंटरेस्ट है, आप वो काम सीखो, आपको आ जाएगा, उसमें कोई वो नहीं।
ठीक है सर,
नेक्स्ट
थैंक यू सर।
सामी
सर
मलिक। या
यस सर।
या
सर जैसे हम सी प्रोग्रामिंग सीख रहे हैं तो सर हम इसमें न्यू है तो हमें कौन सी बुक प्रेफर करनी चाहिए ताकि डीपली अच्छे से नॉलेज मिले स्टेप बाय स्टेप।
जो एक्चुअली बुक्स हैं कोर्स में यूआईटी में प्रोवाइडेड वो अच्छी हैं। लाइक आई थिंक एक लेटेस्ट सी है, वो अच्छी है सी प्रोग्रामिंग के लिए। जो कोर्स में प्रोवाइडेड हैं बुक्स, आप उन्हीं को फॉलो करो और बाकी क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस करो ऑनलाइन।
हेलो सर।
तो
सर मैकेनिकल में सर कोडिंग से कैसे करें?
हाँ, मैकेनिकल में आपको मतलब खुद से ही स्टार्ट करना पड़ेगा। आप यूट्यूब से या फिर अभी जैसे आएंगे सेशन आपको गीक्स फॉर गीक्स या ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म से आप कोर्सेज ले सकते हो एंड देन आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो।
सर
जैसे कि मैं मैकेनिकल से हूँ तो मुझे सी या सी प्लस प्लस पहले सीखना चाहिए या डायरेक्ट पाइथन सीखनी चाहिए क्योंकि वो ज़्यादा इजी है?
सी प्लस प्लस सीखो मेरे हिसाब से, क्योंकि उससे आपको थोड़ा सा बेसिक टाइप्स और उसमें थोड़ा प्रोग्रामिंग, लाइक पाइथन थोड़ी हायर लेवल है, सी प्लस प्लस थोड़ा लोअर लेवल है। तो आपको डेटा टाइप्स और उन सब के बारे में ज़्यादा पता लगेगा उससे, मेमोरी इंटरनल फंक्शनिंग कैसे होती है, रैम वगैरह की। तो वो मेरे हिसाब से वो पहले, बाकी आपकी चॉइस, वो डिपेंड करता है आपकी उसमें। अगर आपको कॉम्पिटिटिव प्रोग्रामिंग साइड जाना है तो सी प्लस प्लस सीखो। विल बी पोस्टिंग द रिकॉर्डिंग आफ्टर द सेशन. I'll take like 1 or 2 more doubts because like 5:27 and we'll start at 5:30. Yeah.
सर कोडिंग के लिए बेसिक चीजें क्या सीखनी पड़ती है, मतलब बेसिक स्टार्टिंग जहाँ से कोडिंग बेसिक शुरू होती हो?
तो वही आप जैसे अगर आप कॉलेज में हो तो कॉलेज में आपको स्टार्ट कराएंगे इसी से, और बाकी आप अपने उस पर आप प्लेटफॉर्म से कोर्सेज ले सकते हो, यूट्यूब से सीख सकते हो। अगर आपको बुक्स पसंद है, पढ़नी प्रेफर है, तो बुक्स से पढ़ सकते हो।
So what is competitive coding?
So basically like it's a series of like solving logical questions through coding. Like it's basically a sport in itself, and we use like data structure and algorithms to solve those questions, and it's related to that. Our next session, upcoming session, is related to that only, which will be done by a mentor from Geeks for Geeks. So I think if you have any like competitive programming or data structure algorithm doubts or any of the programming doubts, then it would be get cleared after this session. And as it is 5:28, I think we'll introduce our next speaker, and we can have the doubts after the session.
सर मुझे सर हेलो सर मुझे सर अगले साल जीसॉक के लिए सर अप्लाई करना है, तो सर क्या करें सर उसके लिए?
उसके लिए आपको अभी हम एक्चुअली एक पूरा इस पे सेशन होल्ड करेंगे जीसॉक का, कि कैसे आप ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ढूंढ सकते हो। बट इनिशियली अगर आप स्टार्टिंग फेजेस में हो प्रोग्रामिंग के, तो आई वुड रिकमेंड कि first you find a field that is interesting to you, like something like if you like web development, artificial intelligence, or like app development or something like that, you should find what you are interested in, and then you should go for like what which organization you want to go for. Yeah, so if your queries are answered, please raise down your hands. Yeah, Amanat Singh.
सर मैंने वो पाइथन का फुल कोर्स कर लिया सर यूट्यूब से। उसके बाद समझ नहीं आ रहा उसके बाद क्या करना चाहिए।
तो आप देखो, अगर आपको जैसे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना अच्छा लगता है, जैसे जो प्रोग्रामिंग वाले क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, अगर वो आपको सॉल्व करना अच्छा लगता है तो आप कॉम्पिटिटिव कोडिंग में जाओ। अगर आपको प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाने अच्छे लगते हैं, वेबसाइट बनानी या फिर कोई सर्वर बनाना या एपीआई बनानी, ये सब बनाना अच्छा लगता है तो आप डेवलपमेंट साइड जाओ। वो आपकी इंटरेस्ट पे डिपेंड करता है। I think we have our speaker with a Kanish. Can you?
Sir, what happens in hackathon?
One second. I think we'll do all our doubts after the session. Let's have the session first.
Thank you, Gurname sir, for this wonderful introduction of P Club. With AI Saturdays, Research Fridays coming up after the exam, it is surely going to be an amazing experience. We have the freshers here who have started exploring new domains, and this initial journey brings with itself a lot of doubts too. One topic that has a huge importance is data structures and algorithm. This is an introductory session, and for this, we welcome our worthy guest, Ms. Kirti Gera, course mentor at Geeks for Geeks. She is currently pursuing MCA in Computer Science from NIT Jamshedpur. Her major achievements consist of securing 4th rank in MNNIT Coding Challenge, which witnessed participation of over 400 coders. She has also secured 3rd rank at Code Nemesis, a university level contest. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay. Hello everyone, good evening. So Kirti this side. Currently I'm working at Geeks for Geeks as a course mentor, where majorly I teach data structures and algorithms. And I mentored various students for various product-based companies like Amazon, Microsoft, and these type of companies. And also currently I'm working in an elite batch where I'm teaching data structures, SQL, and OOPS. And I completed my studies from NIT Jamshedpur. So in today's session, we are going to discuss about DSA, like how you can reach to your dream company, how you can reach to these companies, product-based companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, these type of companies. So we will be discussing roadmap to these type of companies, and also we will be discussing company-wise criteria. Like if you are targeting companies up to 6 LPA, then you should focus on which topics. And if you are targeting companies like from 6 to 9 or 10 LPA, then which companies you should focus. Okay, so we will be discussing everything that you required for your placement. And also, firstly, I'll be taking the session, and then at the end of this session, I'll be taking your doubts also. Fine. So let's start this session. So since you entered into your college, so you have heard this term DSA. Like if you want to grab a good opportunity, if you want to grab a good placement, if you want to clear your dream company, then you should know DSA. You should do DSA coding. So first question is DSA really important? Like we are hearing this term since we entered into a college, and also YouTube. If I'll say YouTube, LinkedIn, everything is full of DSA. Okay, this is for freshers. So is DSA really important? So the answer is yes. DSA is really important. If you want, like at the end of your college or before completion of your graduation, you will be having like a package of like 50K per month, 60K per month, 80K per month, 1 lakh per month, or 1.5 lakh per month. This is the maximum for fresher. Many companies provides greater than this also, but I'm just talking about like where we need DSA, we don't need CP. Okay, so maximum is 1.5 lakh per month. So if you want like this kind of package before the completion of your graduation, then you should do DSA, whether you are interested, whether you are motivated or not. But if you want to grab a good opportunity, then you should do DSA. Fine, so DSA is important. So now let's understand what is DSA, like what's the meaning of DSA. So DSA means data structure and algorithms. So data structures are some structures in which we store data, as the name is saying. And algorithms means there are like some steps. With the help of that steps, we will solve a particular problem. Okay, so solve a particular task. So there are some data structures and there are some algorithms. They are already pre-implemented. They are already developed. You don't need to implement anything. You don't need to discover anything. You just need to understand them, and you just need to understand or train your mind. Okay, this is how I should use. I should solve the problem using this data structure. So basically, this is a kind of observation training. It's not a learning a subject. Like suppose I have three data structures, tree, stack, and queue, and a problem is given. Then you should know, okay, in this I should use stack, queue, or tree. Okay, or in this I should use binary search, linear search, or ternary search. So this is called data structures and algorithms. There are some pre-implemented things that you need to understand and that you need to train your mind that how I can observe in a particular question for the suitable data structures and algorithms. So this is all about DSA. And also, it's just a game of 3 to 6 months. You don't need to. You don't need years of years, and also you don't need like your graduation. You just need 3 to 6 months. That's fine for DSA. We will be discussing the strategy also. Fine. So now next is why companies require DSA. Okay, because it's easy now. Like we just need to study for 3 to 6 months, or max to max like 1 year. We can say if you are not consistent. Okay, so why only DSA? Like with the help of one subject we can get a placement of like 1 lakh 50K. So why? Like because in companies we need to work with web development, machine learning, and these kind of technologies. But again, these companies are asking DSA. Okay, so the reason is that DSA is not a subject. DSA is a training. So companies want trained mind. That mind of the candidate is already trained, so that you can use different problems in the market, because they want their product should be best in the market. So suppose you are looking for a book. Suppose DSA book. Okay, so now like if you will search best DSA book on site A, if it will not work, or if it will take time, now you will surely move to platform B, unless and until you have only this option. So that's why companies require trained minds. That's why we heard this term coding, CPDS. So that's why you need DSA for training your mind to solve complex problem using different concepts. That's why DSA is needed. Fine. So before 2 or 3 days, like I was watching a session for girl, and she cleared Google. So she told me that, like she had 4 rounds. Okay, 4 rounds, 1 online assessment, and 3 were technical interviews. So in both of the 4 rounds, in like all the 4 rounds, she had DSA questions. That's it, from dynamic programming and graph. So you know the importance of the DSA. With the help of DSA, even you can clear the clear Google. Google is dream company for most of the students. So this is the importance of DSA. Fine. So next, like I'll be discussing about some challenges or mistakes we generally do while learning DSA. Fine. So like first step is resources. In resources also we have 2 points. First is, suppose I'll tell you, okay, you need to study this topic. Okay, so many of you what you will do? Okay, let's try to collect the resources. You will connect to me, or you will ask to your seniors, or you will ask to in LinkedIn, okay, to your some friends or connections. Okay, tell me the resources for stack. Just give me the resources for queue. Just give me the resources for graph where I need to study this and this. So you will try to collect resources. Okay, so please don't do this thing. We just need one resource. We just need one resource. Don't run behind the resources, because you will be ending up stressing yourself. Okay, I don't have good resources. Maybe someone else has good resources. So don't run behind the resources. Start with one resource. Okay, so in resources, second point is they use only one resource, or we can say stick with one resource. Don't do this thing like today I start with Geeks for Geeks, and maybe now I solved 5 questions. Okay, and now when I start encountering medium question, now I'm not interested. Let's move to LeetCode, and then again at LeetCode also I just solved 5 questions, and then again if I got a medium question that I'm not able to like I'm not able to solve this question, then let's move to Geeks for Geeks again, or let's move to HackerRath. So please don't do this thing. If a question is medium, if you are not able to solve that question, it means that you need to learn something. So stick to one resource, whether it's Geeks for Geeks, LeetCode, any other resource. Stick to one resource, or max to max 2 resources, but not more than 2 resources, because we need to prepare. We don't need to explore resources. Fine. So in challenges or mistakes, second point is time. Okay, so like generally, suppose we have classes. You also have classes, or like maybe we have some other works. So we generally think like for coding I need to give 10 to 12 hours. Sorry. And like we generally think like for coding I need to give 10 to 12 hours. Okay, so I don't have this much time, I cannot give 10 to 12 hours. So maybe you try it but you are not able to sit for 10 to 12 hours. Okay, so we generally think like I cannot clear interviews because I cannot sit 10 to 12 hours. So trust me guys, you don't need 10 to 12 hours. Okay, we are not preparing for IIT or UPSC. Even for that also we don't need 12 hours to study. I prepared for IIT, I prepared for NIT. So I never studied for like 12 hours. Even when I was preparing for my placements, I never studied for 12 hours. Never. Even I can't study. So you just need 2 to 3 hours per day. That's it. And also, if you can't put 2 to 3 hours, then at least put 1 hour. It's enough for 3 to 6 months. But please start your preparation. Okay, and don't stress yourself by thinking like I need to study whole day. I need to sit in front of laptop whole day. Don't do this. Okay, and in time second part, maybe some of you from first year, second year, this is for first, second year, third year, final, or maybe you are passed out. Okay, so generally we think like I wasted my time. Now I'm not able to clear interviews. Now I'm not able to get my dream company. So don't do this. Okay, you just need 3 to 6 months. Okay, even if you are passed out, then also start it now. Now, like if you wasted your time, that's fine. Everyone, I also wasted my time. So that's fine if your time is already wasted, but start it now. Okay. So I got a query from where we start. I'll tell you, okay, the roadmap to your dream company, roadmap to this. I'll tell you everything. So start it now. These were some points that challenges we can say or mistakes we can do while learning DSC. Fine. And now next step we have do's and don'ts while learning. Some points are there. So in don'ts, first point is in do firstly we will be discussing do's and then don'ts. So in do's, first point is be consistent with your preparation. So now question arises why we should be consistent. What if I'll do some, like if I'll do 10 questions today and maybe I don't want to study for 2 to 3 days and then I'll start again. Okay, so the question is why be consistent? Because I told you DSA is a training. Okay, it's not a like subject that I can learn and I can just grab the concepts. It's a training, it's a kind of weightlifting. So you need to be consistent, daily do questions, daily practice questions. And also if you are not able to do questions, like you don't want to do questions today, that's fine. At least revise the question. Okay, yesterday I did 2 questions. In this question I was doing this, in this question I was doing this. Basically just try to put efforts on your mind in revising questions also. So be consistent with your preparation. Second point is like we have stick to one resource. And third point we have don't just do like topics. Start practice questions. Like suppose I tell you need to do stack, queue, array. So we generally think okay, let's complete the topics and then I'll practice question. And you waste your 2 to 3 months in studying topics. I'm not getting trees, I'm not getting graphs. So you don't need to study topics, you need to practice questions. Start with like arrays and practice questions. Okay, because in the interview you are not going to get like stack, explain queue. You will be getting questions based on these data structures. If you're targeting companies like up to 4 LPA, okay, on that you can for that companies you will be getting these type of questions. Explain stack, explain like these kind of things. If you are like targeting a TCS company, TCS, Infosys, even they also started asking coding questions. But there you can get like this type of question. But if you want to crack good companies, okay, good product-based companies, then you should do practice of questions. And also I told you like start it. It's very easy. Just give it a try. Okay. And now let's move to some don'ts while learning DSC. So in don'ts, first step is like don't skip question. Never skip a question. Suppose you started a question, okay, like to answer this question. So sometimes, many times it happened when we are at initial stage. We are not able to solve a question. Okay, so we try for 10 to 20 minutes. So then we're generally waiting. Okay, DSC is not my cup of tea. I cannot do DSC. So we wasted 2 to 3 days or a week, like for calling like to friends or to asking seniors like how I can do this, another way for studying, for getting this kind of placement. Can I start with machine learning, this and so on. So again, after wasting 2 to 3 days or a week, you will be coming back to DSA. Okay, so instead of wasting your time, just start it now, na, like don't skip questions. So that's why student like take like years of years even after graduations, like many students will not be able to clear like interviews. Why? Because they think like they are not consistent, they are not properly doing DSA. Okay, so don't skip questions. If you like firstly start with a question, and suppose you are not able to solve a question, okay, you are not getting anything, that's fine, put 15 to 20 minutes. You don't need to put 2 days. You heard about this thing like I solved this question, it took me 2 days, so don't do this thing, and put 15 to 20 minutes, that's it. Okay, this is a capacity for putting efforts. And after putting 15 to 20 minutes and continuously sitting 15 to 20 minutes, now suppose you are not able to get the solution, then it's okay. Try to take the hint from the hint section. Okay, suppose in a particular question DFS is used. So if you know that DFS, then try to think like how I can solve this question using DFS. But if you don't know DFS, then learn DFS and then come back to question. But at that time only. Don't think like I'll do tomorrow. Fine. And like even if after getting the hint you are not able to solve question, that's fine. It's okay. It happened with everyone. Then take the solution. Try to understand the solution. It will take time because it's like difficult, we can say, or it requires more efforts to understand other solution. So understand solution. And after understanding, now code it by yourself and then try to map. Okay, I was thinking in this way and they are thinking in this way. Okay, this is how should I proceed this question. So do like this. Fine. And next point we have, don't set unrealistic goals. Don't set. Okay. So suppose you heard on LinkedIn or YouTube, like a person or a student like sold 1000 to 1200 questions. Okay. Or if you will see my question, like I sold around 1000 questions. So you will think, okay, now I need to complete 1000 questions. So I'll start from today. Daily I'll do 20 questions. And after a week, I'll be having 140 questions. Maybe we will be working more. And on Saturday and Sunday, we are doing more questions. Okay, so 150 questions per week. And at the end of a month, I'll be having 600 questions. And at the end of 2 months, I'll be having 1200 questions. Okay. And after 2 months, I'll be ready for placement. Okay. So please don't do this mistake. I also did same and I just stressed myself. That's it. So you don't need to count the number of questions. I know many students, they completed 1000 questions, 1500 questions. Still they are looking for placements. Okay. And I know the students, they just completed 300 questions, 400 questions, 500. So they are still placed in Microsoft, Amazon, and many more companies, Uber, Paytm. Okay. So the thing is, run behind the quality, not quantity. Like whenever you're solving a question, so you are like, you should put your efforts. Okay. You should put your effort. You should be concentrated on that particular question, and after the question you will be having a satisfaction. Okay, yes, I solved something, I learned something. This is, you should do DSA. Even if you're solving a single question, that's fine, but don't set unrealistic goals and don't try to like, okay, let's do 20 questions, see solution. Okay, read question, see solution. So don't do this thing. Pick a question. Put efforts on that question. If you're not able to solve that question, that's fine, it happened. Okay, then take the solution and try to understand the solution and then try to implement the solution. Then move to second question. And next you also try to recall that question, and you can make notes also. I also made, like now also I'm doing CP because I don't want to like leave DSC or CP. So daily I do one question, not daily, but maybe on alternate days whenever I'll get time. So I have a notebook in which I daily write, okay, today I did this question, like only just name of the question or some points, and then I just write solution. Okay, and this solution I used this topic. So it will be very helpful for all of you. Just try it once. Okay, so these were some points like when we should keep in mind while learning DSC. Okay, and one more point I forgot to share, like do dry run. Okay, so for example, you are getting a question and you are solving a question. Okay, so now you are not able to get anything. How I can solve this question? So then take input and try to think like it's a kind of a game. Try to think in terms of a game. Like this is my input. If I need to convert.
Excuse me, ma'am. If you're trying to, are you sharing a presentation? Because
no. I'll share. But
okay.
Yeah. So just try to think. This is my input and this is my output. Like how I can convert this input in this output. Try hard. Like take 2-3 inputs. Try to observe. Observation is the main key in DSC. Okay, so try this thing. And also, like, suppose you write the code and you are not able to debug your code, or your code is not giving correct output. It happened with everyone. Okay, this is called implementation skill. So what you can do, just pick the input and try to think like, suppose you have 4 lines. Okay, so pick any input and let's try to dry run. Okay, in first line my input will be converted to this output, and the original output should be this. Like, suppose you have 2 3. Okay, and with the help of your code, your 2 3 is converted to 4 and 5, but like original is 6 and 7. So try to like do dry run with each line with the help of an input, and try to map it with your output, the code, the output you are getting with the help of your code, and the correct output, and you will find, okay, in this line I am doing some mistake. So do dry run. Initially it will take time, but trust me, it will be very helpful for all of you. Okay. And also, where I can use dry run, like it's a 3 uses of, first I told for input output. Second, like when you write a code and you are not able to get correct answer. Third is, suppose you take a solution and it happened like many times, we don't like understand the code, the solution that we are taking. So try to dry run, take input and try to dry run with each line. Okay, in this line, this input will be converted to this output according to their code. Similarly, try to understand each line, and it will be very easy for you next time for getting the solution of others. But please don't skip the question. Okay. So now these were some points that we need to take care while learning DSA. So now the next is like topics to, like everything that for placements we need. We can so subjects that I'll do and I'll get my placement. Okay. So first is language. Start with any language. Okay, like you can start with C++, Python, or Java, but don't start with C, because C is not preferable in interviews, and C and C++ both are same. If you are doing C++, C is with you. C is in your hands. Okay, so don't waste your time like I should learn C++, I should start with Java, or I should start with Python. Please, students, waste your months in selecting a language. Okay, if someone told you, okay, C++ is like good, you will start with C++. And if you heard, okay, Java is preferable, so you will start with Java. So in an interview, you just need a language and DSA. That's it. There are some companies that require Java, but the package is very less. Okay, and and also some companies doesn't allow Python. So for that, start with C++ or Java. If you know Python and you are coding in Python, then you can switch to any other language, because some companies doesn't allow Python in the interview. C++ and Java is common. So start with any language, and if I'll talk about my opinion, which one is easy, start with C++. It will take you 7 to 8 days for starting, like for getting the language, the topics we need for starting with DS. 7 to 8 days, like 2-3 hours per day. So start with C++. Okay. So I am getting, ma'am, I just started C language. I just started C language. Okay, you can, if you are in first year, that's fine. After C language, you can move to C++. But if you are in second year, third year, or final year student, then you should start with C++, because we don't have much time. Okay. So now let's move to first is language. So in language, you need to do like input output, like the things that we need for DSA, because sometimes we think like coding means language. No, coding doesn't mean language. You can implement DSA with the help of language. Okay, so now pick a language and start like learn about the syntax. C, like if I talk about C++, so we have C in and C out for input and output. Then if else, we have if else statement, for loops, do while loops. So do these kind of things, like main things. And also then see the arrays, strings, pointers, like basics. Okay, now language is done. Okay, then we will move to DSA. So second is DSA. So we'll be discussing DSA topics, but for that, for now, let's move to 2 other topics, and then we will be coming back to DSA. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen and telling you DSA topics. So now language, DSA, and next is OOPS. So next is core subjects. Okay, so in core subjects we have 4 subjects. First is OOPS. So OOPS is very important, very important. Okay, so there are like 10. We can say there are 10 topics for OOPS that are important for interviews. Why OOPS is important? Like, because OOPS means object-oriented programming system. Okay, which means that it helps us to work as closely as real-life objects. Because ultimately, for softwares, for apps, we are working with objects. Okay, so oops will help you in interviews also, and after your like placement also, when you will start working there also, you will be using oops concept. So oops is very important. And also for oops you can take list from net, like what are the, we can say, important topics or all topics of oops for like interviews or in C++, or you can connect to me on LinkedIn. I'll share list to you, oops list. Okay, and now next is operating system. So operating system is again a very important. First is oops. Oops is very important. Next is oops. Next is operating system. So operating system is very important, and also it's a very vast subject. Like everything, like you are using your machine, how we are connecting, like how I am delivering my like session. So everything is OS, operating system. So you don't need to cover everything. There are some like 10 to 15 topics or interview questions are there for operating system. You just need to do them only. Okay, and also for operating system, like suppose paging is very important for interviews, like important topic for interview. So like suppose I am asking you what is paging, then you should know what is paging, how it works, why we need paging. Okay, so basically deep knowledge of each topic in operating system. So operating system is very important, and they require deep knowledge about operating system. Okay. And next we have computer network. So computer network is not much important topic, but we have OSI model where we have 7 layers. So in your interview, if you will get a networking question, then you will be getting questions from OSI model. That's it for networking. Next, we have DBMS and SQL. So SQL is a database, like how we are storing data and all of the things. So in DBMS, you will be getting simple questions like what is DBMS, what is file system, why we replaced this DBMS, why we replaced file system with DBMS, and advantages of DBMS, and also 2-tier architecture, 3-tier architecture, 3-schema architecture, these kind of things. And in SQL, you will be getting simple queries like insertion, selection, deletion, these kind of simple queries. Okay. So first important core subjects, if I'll like tell you in a term of their importance, first is OOPS, second is operating system, third is DBMS, and last one is computer network. Okay, and last one we have projects. So now like many of you have this doubt, like what if I don't have a project in my resume, like can I get my placement without project? Okay. So the answer is yes, you can get your placement without project. But let's try to understand, if you have project, then what will be the benefits. First is like when you will go with your, like when you will have interview now, like before your interviewer is going through your resume, like I also take interviews at Geeks for Geeks. So firstly I scan resume, and after scanning resume there is a point, like there is a point, plus point or negative points will be in interview minds. Okay, this student did this and so on. Okay, so if you have project, like interview will get a plus point, like okay, this student like built something, you started from scratch and you completed it. Like you imagined a product, okay, I'll create this, and you built that project. Because in company ultimately you are going to get projects, you need to work with projects. So this is a plus point for project. And second one is like many companies have their separate project. And third one is like you will enhance your knowledge with the help of project. Like if you have project, and like you will learn many things while building a project. And last one for interviews is like suppose you are in interview, and interview will be 45 minutes and 30 minutes are done for DSA, and you completed DSA question. Now in the remaining 15 minutes you will be getting, if you have project, you will be getting questions around your project that you can answer easily. But like suppose if you don't have project, then you will be getting question about core subjects or the technologies you have mentioned. So better we have project. And also if you don't have project, that's fine, and your placements are near, what you can do, start like you can take projects from that also. Okay, but the thing is you should know everything about that project. Like suppose you know Android, or you are interested in Android, so learn Android and build small projects while learning BSA. Because ML, Android, web development, we cannot learn them without practically working with them. So you need to build projects while working with them. If I talk about HTML, so in HTML we have tags. You cannot learn tags, you need to practice tags. That's only the way you will get that concept. So like suppose I'm working on Android, so start with the concepts of Android and build like mini projects, okay, for each concept, as like if you are following a course according to that. And at that you can, if you don't have time only, pick like you can take projects from the net, and like you should know everything about that project. So so that you can answer your interviews. Fine. And also, please don't do this thing. Let's pick project, and you don't know about you know nothing about that project, then you will be eliminated in interview because they want honesty. Even I also prefer honesty. You can pick, that's fine, but at least you should know your interview. Like should not get like anything about your project. That your project is not yours. So if you are picking up, you should have everything about that project.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, is Kotlin mandatory for Android development?
Yes, now we are switching to Kotlin from Java. So that depends on the company. If you know Android using Java, then that's fine.
Okay,
But if
ma'am.
you
So,
learn,
yeah.
so now next is like what I was saying. Okay, about projects. Okay, so these were about projects. So we have 4 things: language, DSA. Language we required, let's say max to max 15 days. Okay, for DSA we require 6 months. Okay, and like for core subjects you just need 15 days. That's it, 15 days. And for a project, if you have time, you can make your project along your DSA. But if you are confused, you are not able to do DSA, then don't mix it. Okay. So for a project, let's say suppose we were taking 2 months. So total we can say 8-9 months, including a very good project. Okay, for your placement. So start your preparation. It's very easy. You just need to control like some emotions. I know, like we don't want to study, and negative emotions are also there. Like Amazon is not coming to my campus, Microsoft is not coming to my campus, Google is not coming to my campus. So how I can prepare, how I can reach to that come. So everything is very easy now after coding. But start your preparation. Okay. So now I am just sharing my screen and I'll tell you DSA topics. Just a second. Yeah, I'm getting so much queries. So I'll be taking your queries after this DSA roadmap and after the company criteria. I will be taking your doubts. No worries. Just a second. I'm sharing my screen. So just let me know once screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So let's start. So the first is start with arrays. Okay, so this is for the beginners. Like if you try DSA and you are not able to make logics and like you think DSA is not meant for you or you are complete beginner, so then start with patterns. Okay, like it will be very helpful for you. I also did same, and I mentored like many students and they started with patterns. This is for like if you're like complete beginner, you never like did like coding, because when I was entered into MC, I know nothing. I knew nothing. Like even I was not able to get why we need loops for arrays. Okay, so then I started with patterns. Someone guided me. So if you are complete beginner and also you like tried many times and you are not able to get logics, then you can start with patterns. Patterns like star pattern, alphabet patterns. You can download a book, C in depth. Again, I'm repeating, C in depth. And with the help of that book, you can practice patterns. There is a 4th or 5th chapter, for loop chapter is there. So practice at least 15 patterns, at least 10. Or if you want to practice more, you can practice more, 10 to 15 patterns we can say. So it will be very helpful for you. So if you don't want to like do DSA and if you're not interested, in try it once with the help of patterns. Trust me, you will find your interest. Okay. So let's start with first is arrays. Okay, so now you need to start with
Sorry,
arrays.
ma'am. Can you repeat the name of the book again? Sorry, ma'am.
Yes, I can. I'm just putting the name of the book in chat box. See in depth we have. So 4th to 5th chapter is there. So you can download this book from that. Okay. Okay, so first is arrays. So we will be starting with arrays. So now in arrays, you just need to get the syntax, okay, how array works, input, output, in like basics of arrays, okay, like you can solve question, basics, input, output, like name of the array, how we can declare them, syntax, and all of these things, okay. After array, you will be solving simple question of array, like basic easy questions, and you can just go on Geeks for Geeks and you can search array, and like there is a difficulty easy, medium, hard. You need to start with easy question, or you can go like you can start with any platform, but you start with easy question. So array, easy questions, fine. And now after completing 4 to 5 like 5 to 6 questions of array, easy question, because now we are starting, this is just a we can say initial phase. Okay, so now after doing 5 to 6 questions of array, just leave regression, just leave array here. Okay, so now after array we will be starting with searching and sorting. Okay, so in searching you need to do linear search and binary search. Like you need to understand, like you need to know everything. It's not like you will tell me binary search work like this. You know everything about binary search. Like you need to put efforts, you need to understand, we can say, you need to eat, we can say. Okay, so this is how you should do DSA, understanding, training. So now searching, we will do linear search, binary search. And after that, I'll be moving to sorting. We'll be moving to sorting. In sorting, there are many algorithms, but you just need to do 5. Okay, 5. I'm saying name: insertion sort, selection sort, bubble sort, merge sort, quick sort. Again, I'm repeating: insertion sort, selection sort, bubble sort, quick sort, and merge sort. Fine. So now after searching and sorting, we will be moving back to array. So now we will be practicing 10 to 15 questions of array, like we can say medium questions of array, in which we are putting efforts. And we can also do questions using 2-pointer technique and window sliding technique. So these are the techniques of arrays: 2-pointer technique, 2-pointer technique, and sliding window technique. Okay, so we'll be doing 10 to 15 questions of array. Okay, so now we will be moving to hashing. So for hashing, hashing is a very important topic, but it's very easy. Just 6 to 7 questions of hashing. Like what is hashing, how it works, and 6 to 7 questions of hashing. That's enough. And next we will be starting with recursion. Okay, so recursion sometimes, or like many students find it's a very hard topic, but it's very easy. It's just need practice and like strategy. And also recursion is very important for like every company, we can say. If you're targeting companies up to 6 LPA, 7 LPA, 8 LPA, every company needs recursion, and you will be using recursion in most of the questions also. Okay, so let's see how we need to do recursion. So now for recursion, just see the basics. What is recursion, how it works, and like basic things about the recursion, and simple 2 to 3 easy questions of recursion. Now leave recursion. For now, leave recursion here. So next we will be starting with linked list. So next we will be starting with linked list. So in linked list, you just need to firstly get the structure of the linked list, like what is the structure, and insertion, deletion, updation, everything in linked list. Okay, and after that there are 8 to 10 questions in linked list that are standard questions. Standard questions like company questions or patterns, that are standard patterns, we can say, like rotate a linked list by k places, check a linked list is palindrome or no, these kind of 8 to 10 questions. Okay, so now we are done with linked list. Okay, so now next is circular linked list, doubly linked list. So in circular linked list also see the like structure and 5 questions, and doubly linked list also like get the structure and 5 questions. So now we are done with arrays, searching, sorting, linked list, circular linked list, and doubly linked list. And now next is stack. So stack is very important topic, very important topic. And in stack there are 5 to 6 questions which are standard. Just do that. Firstly, see the stack, like basics, what is stack, how it works, and then practice standard questions of stack. Next we have queue. Queue is not much important, but it can be asked. So queue also like do 4 to 5 questions of stack. DQ just 2 to 3 questions. That's enough for DQ. Next we have trees. Okay, so tree like we generally students scare of the trees, but trust me, tree is very easy topic, very easy. Like when I was doing tree, it took me 1 day to understand one question of the tree, simple question, and that too, that question has only 4 lines of code. But trust me guys, now tree is my favorite topic. Tree and graphs are my favorite topic because of the practice I did, and the question I practiced. Okay, so now let's see how we can do trees. So in tree, start with tree. Firstly, get the basic idea. Okay, this is a node, this is left node, this is right node, and after that, do the basic traversal of the tree. Okay, like we can say we have 3 or 4 traversal: pre-order, post-order, in-order, and level order. So pick any one traversal. Let's suppose pre-order. So like just see the code and take like 5 to 6 examples of tree and try to do dry run. Dry run means, okay, firstly I'm at this node and then I'll move into this node and then I'm coming back to this node. Like do dry run means like you need to think I am compiler and how I'll work, like how I'll compile this code or how I'll run this code, how I will give the output of this code. So do dry run. Okay, so now complete all traversals. So do dry run. Like for each dry run, just take 5 to 6 examples. So trust me, it will be very helpful for you. So now after doing this, and now trees will be in your hands, like we can say ideas, or you will be able to do questions now. So after that, do at least 15 questions of trees, and each question with dry run. One example with 2 examples, but each question with dry run. Like by thinking, I am running this code, so how I will give output. Okay, I am on this node, I'll be on this node, and I'll be on this node, like these kind of things. Fine. So now after doing 3 questions, we will be moving back to recursion. Okay, so now you will be seeing like you are able to solve medium questions of recursion, easy to medium. So now we will be practicing 7 to 8 questions of recursion, and after that, now after solving medium question of recursion, you are able to solve hard question of recursion also, or it will take you like you will not going to take much time. So solve at least 10 question of recursion, easy, and 2-3 hard. So now we are done with trees and recursion, and now we have BST. So BST is same as tree. There are some properties that are different from tree. So practice BST at least 15 questions, because BST is very important topic for interviews, very important. So next we have backtracking. So after doing trees, BST, and recursion, it will be very easy for you to solve backtracking questions. So now start with backtracking. After firstly recursion basics, then tree, then again moving back to recursion, solve at least 10 questions of recursion, and then backtracking. So now you will be able to solve backtracking questions. Next we have heap. So heap or priority queue, they both are same. So heap is a very important topic, very important, like trending topic we can say. Okay, so like heapify function, heap sort, how priority queue work, everything. And also there is a one standard pattern in priority queue, like whenever you will see k larger elements, kth largest element, kth minimum element. So in these type of questions we generally use priority queue. So priority queue, note down, it is very important topic, and easy also, very easy topic. So we are done with these topics. So now we are these are some more topics. Okay, so now we are remaining with, we can say, graphs and DP. Okay, so now let's see how we can do graph. So for graph, now firstly start with DFS and BFS, because now you know tree. Okay, so now you know, just a second. Okay, so now you know trees very well, and recursion and backtracking. So now you can easily start with graphs, do BFS and DFS, and do 10 questions of both. Okay, and after that we will be doing graph algorithms like Kosa-Raju algorithm, Tarjan's algorithm, and many algorithms are there. So now we'll be doing that, and for that also you need to like understand them again and again. They are not tough, but they take time for understanding. Like if I'll talk about like Kosa-Raju algorithm, when I learned that, it took me like 2 to 3 days for getting that. There is a concept of backage. I was not able to get that particular, like what is backage, how it works. So it took me time, but that was like worth it. Okay, so graph algorithms require your practice and your time. So now we have DP. So DP is a topic, like very important topic, and also we scare of the DP. Okay, but trust me, DP is not hard. DP requires practice. DP needs practice. Okay, so let's start how you should do a DP question. So at least do 15 questions of DP using recursion and memoization. Recursion, you know, memoization means like suppose you are solving like particular problem again and again. So instead of solving that particular sub problem again and again, we solve that result and we will use it again. So this is called memoization. Okay, I cannot like explain it now because we don't have much time, but you can search on it, recursion and memoization. So at least do 20 questions using recursion and memoization. And now you will be moving to DP formulas. Okay, and you will be doing at least 50 questions of DP. 50 questions of DP you need to do, but more than 50 but not less than 50. And also you are solving these questions by yourself. Like if we have 50, then at least 30 questions you are solving by yourself. 20 you are taking from net, you are taking solution. That's fine for initial phase. But after that you should solve 30 questions around by yourself. Okay, so that's all about DSA. So quickly, I'm just telling you company-wise criteria. So if you're targeting companies up to 6 LPA, then the important topics are array questions, searching, sorting, not questions of searching, sorting, only searching, sorting. And then we have stack, and then we have queue, and then we have linked list. So again, I'm repeating arrays, searching, sorting, linked list, and stack and queue also. And if you're targeting companies from 6 to 9 or 10 LP, for that arrays medium question, and searching sorting questions mainly you will get on binary search in searching, and in sorting you will get questions on merge sort, mainly on merge sort or insertion sort. So arrays, searching, sorting, and their questions based on searching, sorting, and then stack questions, queue question, bits. So in bits, like bits is a very easy topic. You can there are some tips and tricks, you can just learn about them, and bit is a very easy topic. So bits, and then we have linked list, circular linked list, double linked list, trees. So if you're targeting companies which are giving you like package from 6 to 9 or 10 LP, then trees are very important. Okay, and then in graph we have DFS, and in DFS, just a second. Yes, in graph we need a DFS and BFS from 6 to 9 LP, DFS and BFS only, not algorithms, and 1 DDP we need. Arrays, stacks, queues, searching, sorting, and their questions, and linked list, circular linked list, double linked list, bit patterns, and trees, medium, hard, easy questions. Okay, and graphs, DFS, BFS question, and DP, 1 DDP, and also one more, greedy algorithms. Okay, and if you're targeting companies up to which are providing you 10 plus LP, so everything is included. We can say recursion and backtracking question are also included in companies from 6 to 9 or 10 LP, but not very hard questions. If you are targeting companies which are providing you 10 plus LP, so backtracking and recursion, hard questions. They ask you backtracking question mostly, and graph algorithms, explain Prim's algorithm, explain this Casta's algorithm, and also their implementation. So do code also with every algo and everything that we have discussed in DSA roadmap. So for 10 plus companies, everything is required. Okay, so that was all for today's session, and that was all from my side. Now it's your turn. If you have any doubt, you can ask to me in chat box, or you can unmute yourself. Okay, so let's pick doubts.
Good evening, ma'am.
Should I start with the programming?
You are not audible properly.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, do we need to learn C language at advanced level because it is generally used in embedded programs? Means
No.
if we have done like pointers, arrays, then do we need to learn C at advanced, or we can go to C++?
You can just start with C++. Like in your company, you are just going to get a C++ and DSA, not advanced language, because you will be working in compiler designing, or you will be working on which team, that will be decide when you will clear your interview. Okay, and at that time they will give you training of the topics that we require. So for now, you just need language, not advanced things in language, just a language the common topics we can say, and DSA topics and core subjects we have discussed, but we don't need advanced C++.
And ma'am, there is a topic Internet of Things, IoT. So ma'am, we have to do means specialization, or we can do a course at UG also.
No, very rare companies, if you will see the companies that will that give you package up to 5, they require these kind of things, IoT and these things. But if I talk about generally, they don't require anything. But yes, if you have specialization in one thing, in IoT or machine learning or web development, then it will be very helpful. If you have time, then start. If you don't have time, then first I want to say first is DSA. If you have time, then you can do specialization in IoT or in web development, in anything your area of interest.
Ma'am, I'm in first year, so that's why I was planning a roadmap.
Okay, so according to me, if you are in first year, start with CP, because CP will open 100 of ways for you. So start with CP if you are in first year.
No, I am currently learning the C language, and it is about to end. Then I am
Okay,
going to GPP.
Then you are going to
C++.
okay. Start with C++, but you will be learning DSA, na?
After C++, I will be learning DSA.
Okay. And in which year you are?
I'm in first semester.
Okay, so don't waste much time on learning C++. Okay, just now you know C. So C and C++ both are similar. So just give 1 week to C++ and then start with DSA. And also, if you are in first year, I'll suggest don't move here and there. Don't move technologies, web development, Android. Start with CP if you can. CP will open many doors for you if you have time. But if you are the second year, third year, fourth year, then please don't start CP. But if you are from first year, then start with CP. At least give it a try.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question, but it's not in this background of DSA. I want to ask you about blockchain development and if I want to go in that direction, what I usually have to do.
Okay, actually, I don't know much about blockchain development. You can connect to me. If there's a team in my office, they're working on blockchain development. So I'll ask them and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Okay. So any other? Okay, so
CP क्या है मैम?
Yes.
CP क्या है?
CP competitive coding.
ठीक है.
We have a CodeChef, Codeforces. There you can make ratings and stars, and I think which companies are coming to your college?
Amazon and
Cognizant, American Express.
Okay, then great. So CP is these companies doesn't ask CP, but if you're targeting companies, Tower Research, Code Nation, that give you around 2 lakhs. Their base is 20 plus 20 LPA plus. So for that companies you require CP, and also we can say CP na train your mind. So after doing CP na DSA will be very easy for you. So if you have time and you are interested, then start with CP. But let me tell you one thing: CP takes time. It's not like DSA 3 to 6 months. CP will take time for
Hello,
yes.
ma'am. I want to ask: is it very tough to crack off campus of a big company like Microsoft, Google, Amazon?
No, not nowadays. Okay, so I cleared Geeks for Geeks off campus. Okay, I was placed in some other company as a SD, but then I contacted to Sandeep Jain sir, and then I got a chance of interview. And I know many friends of mine and many students. So after COVID, it's very easy. So there is a way, but now if you suppose you are ready, you are you are confident. Okay, we never be think we are prepared, but now suppose you are confident. Okay, I can give interview. So start with LinkedIn. Firstly, start if you have ID, that's fine. Start using LinkedIn at least 10 to 20 minutes per day. And you will be getting posts like Amazon is hiring, Microsoft is hiring. So start sending resume. Suppose you have seen a post, Amazon is hiring. So now put hash and Amazon in search box and send request to Amazon employees. Okay, at least 20 to 25 employees. And now start putting your referral. Start for asking your referral. Okay, and also your message should not be like this: hello sir, hello ma'am, can you refer me? Because I also got many doubts how to prepare these kind of things. So if I'll see message hi na, then generally I don't reply. So if I get a genuine message, ma'am, I am studying in this, I have problem in this, I always reply, even after I'm replying 2-3 days. Okay, I always reply, and this is for everyone. So if you're asking for referral, then your message should be like this: hello ma'am, or good evening ma'am, thanks for connecting. Hope if you are already connection, hello, good evening ma'am, I hope you are doing well. Hope you are doing well. And then my name is this. Currently, I am studying, or I am 2021 pass out from this college. And if your CGPA is good, more than 7.5, then mention overall CGPA is this. And then you can just tell your skills. I am very good at DSA and all. And then you can ask Amazon is hiring for this position. Would you be open to refer me? I'll share this resume to you. Again, I'm repeating. Firstly, good evening, ma'am. Hope you are doing well. I am Kirti Gira. Like I currently, like we can say, I completed my study from NIT Jamshedpur 2021 pass out with an overall score of 8.4 CGPA, and my skills are DSA, C, C++, front end, and these kind of things. I'll mention my skills in which I'm confident. And then ask, ma'am, Amazon is hiring for SD1. So would you be open to like refer me? I'll share my resume to you, or you can just share directly your resume. So just try it this way because everyone wants respect. They want, like, if you are asking for something, it should be in a respectful way. So try it this way. And also it's very easy nowadays to crack off campus company. And many companies stopped like coming to on campus. They are purely hiring off campus. So it's easy nowadays after COVID.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. And also everyone, it's not possible for me to take everyone doubt because I know you have doubts. Okay, so you can connect to me LinkedIn and you can just send me request there, and if you have any doubt you can ask me there. Okay, but yes,
your LinkedIn name.
Okay, you can search Kirti Gera and you can put NIT Jamshedpur or Geeks for Geeks. You will get my profile, or you can take link from your like EPOs or representatives that organize this workshop.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, yes. And just a second, like I'm just give me a second. I'm just putting a form link. In that link, you can put your doubts and our team will reach out to you. Just a second. Okay, I think form is not updated. Just a second, I'm asking to my team. Okay, so I got it out. Ma'am, please tell how to start C++ for fresher. Okay, so start with like syntax, simple syntax. Okay, just a second. Start with syntax. Okay, so we don't need history. What is this? What is C++? We don't need anything. Okay, because now we just need to work directly. So start with syntax. Like firstly, the structure of the program. Like suppose if you don't know, if you never code it, then you can just start with simple structure. Okay, hash include iostream, and then we have using namespace std, then int main, and then curly braces. So this is simple structure. Okay, and then start with input output. How I can take input in C++, how I can print output in C++, then how I can declare variable int a. Okay, so this is a simple structure. Now you have simple structure, then start with C++. And also like if you want to understand, or if you want to learn concepts like if-else statement, for loop, and functions are very important, arrays, then you can start with C in depth book. Seriously, yeah, this book is very like helped me a lot. And I also like the students I mentor, I always suggest them C++, like C in depth. Okay, and they like every time they told me like this book helped them a lot if they are following this. So start with this book. You can download PDF. You don't need to buy this book. If you can buy, that's good. Otherwise, you can download a PDF.
मैम लेटर सी कैसी बुक है सी की?
C in depth. Like I also have letter C, but I never studied from letter C. I studied from C in depth. Like I can say my implementation skills and my logical skills, everything I got from C in depth, because I completed that book. Not last chapters in which we have file and all, but I completed chapters like operators and functions. I completed each exercise. Okay, sometimes it took me one day to complete a pattern, but that practice helped me a lot. That first semester helped me a lot. So start with C in depth, and if you have time, just do C in depth complete. Not complete, like you can skip last chapters, file management and all things you can left, but start with C in depth. And then it took you like 2 to 3 days to switch to C++ if you have time, and if you want to follow a proper strategy, start with C in depth. Right? So
लैंग्वेज चेंज करने में कैसे कि PHP जावा मोस्ट ज्यादा लैंग्वेज करने का कोई फायदा होता है या कम लैंग्वेज से भी काम चल जाता है?
Like most of the companies, they require DSA and one language, C++, Java or Python, only one language. But if you know and if you have time and you are learning, that's fine. The first type is DSA. Okay, the second is project. And after this, if you have time, you can do anything you want, because everything, if you have extra in your resume, that is plus point. But first is DSA, first is language, then DSA, and then we have project. एंड ऑल्सो इट्स वेरी इजी। आई नो यार, मन नहीं करता करने का। व्हेन आई वाज स्टडिंग मेरे साथ भी ऐसा ही होता था, नहीं करना नहीं होती थी ऐसे, बट थोड़ा सा फोर्स करो खुद को, थोड़ा सा अपनी इमोशंस को कंट्रोल करके, नेगेटिव इमोशंस को एक बार करो, हो जाएगा। यू जस्ट नीड 6 months एंड ट्रस्ट मी गाइस, लाइक when you will get your offer letter and when you will be getting salary every month, like every month 60-70K is coming to your account na, like everything will be worth it. Like when you will get a news na, okay, you got, like you cleared this company, they are hiring you as a ST1, so everything will be worth it. So start it now. Things are very easy. And also यार मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि हम लोग लकी हैं। अगर मैं बात करूँ बीकॉम और बीएससी वालों की, एंड दे आर डूइंग एमएससी ऑल्सो, सो आफ्टर दैट उनके पास ना कुछ ऐसा मतलब डायरेक्टली नहीं है कि वो स्टार्ट करें एंड दे कैन टेक लाइक दिस मच गुड सैलरी, बिकॉज आई थिंक 70K इज नॉट लाइक कि हर कोई ले रहा है, ठीक है। अब हमारे लिए कॉमन सी बात है, बिकॉज हमें पता है कि कंपनीज हमें देती हैं, तो हम लोग सोचते हैं कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हो, बट बहुत बड़ी अमाउंट होती है। तो अगर हम कोई और कोर्स में एनरोल्ड हैं तो लाइक कोई डायरेक्ट वे नहीं है। लाइक अगर आप बात करो बीएससी एमएससी वालों की, तो सब लोग कह रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट जॉब की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, एंड गवर्नमेंट जॉब में बहुत कम चांस है होने का। सो स्टार्ट विथ योर प्रिपरेशन। बहुत लकी है हम लोग कि हमें सिर्फ थोड़ा सा मतलब जिसे कहते हैं 1 साल हार्डवर्क करना है एंड लाइफ सेट हो जानी है। सो स्टार्ट विथ योर प्रिपरेशन। ओके, मोटिवेशन कभी नहीं आएगी पढ़ने की। अगर आई होती तो अब तक आईआईटी में होते हम लोग। सो मोटिवेशन कभी नहीं आती पढ़ने की। वी नीड टू स्टडी फोर्सफुल। Fine. So I think we should end this session. Okay.
Ma'am, how to start competitive programming?
You can start with CodeChef or Codeforces. Okay. So like start participating in contest, and then you will be getting things. Okay. Like for CP, you just need a language. That's it. And everything you will be getting with your journey. And like also one more thing, like when you are in a contest, please solve questions after the contest. If suppose you have 4 questions and suppose you are not able to solve a single question, that's fine. It happened with everyone. When I gave my first contest of Codeforces, so I thought like 4 questions are there, 5 questions were there I think. So I thought that I need to complete 4 questions. Okay, so I was not able to solve like so I started with 4th question. Okay, I'll solve this hard question. So that question was not my cup of tea, and then I moved like okay, I'll solve 3 questions, and then I thought okay, let's solve 2 questions, and then I thought that let's solve only 1 question, but I was not able to solve a single question. Okay, because that was my initial stage, and that's fine. And then I learned the things, and then now I'm able to solve questions in contest. Okay, so if even if you are not able to solve a single question, don't get demotivated. That's fine. But yes, after the contest, solve the question, see the solution, and get that solution forcefully. But please don't do this thing. You are taking part. You are taking a part. Like we can say, you can just giving contests, and you are leaving everything without solving. So you should do upsolve question. Upsolve means after the contest, you need to solve the question, take the solution, or see the editorial. Editorial means solution is given after each contest on every platform. Then do that. But please don't skip questions, and it helps you a lot in your learning after solving question after contest. Okay, so I'm just getting a last thought, and we are ending this session. Any advantages of making notes of DSA? So like we should make notes of DSA. I also made like currently also when I'm doing a question I write. So don't do everything. Okay, like this is stack is working like this. You don't need to remember everything. You don't need to write everything in your notes. Okay, so I'm telling you how you should make DSA notes. Okay, so you studied about stack, so just take like 2 pages for stack, we can say, or start with stack. Okay, stack, this is how stack work in 2 to 3 lines, that's it. Okay, and after that, suppose today you are solving 2 questions. Okay, so you solved first question and second question. Okay, so you need to write question and not complete question, just some points about the question, so that you will be getting about that question. When you will see your notes, you will be getting okay, this is this question, and then write in solution I used this. Only do this thing, that's it. Because when you will revise now, you are putting efforts. You are putting efforts in your mind. But please make notes of DSA, because it happened with everyone. Today I solved a question, and after 2 months, I'm not even able to recall a question. Like I'm telling you, I solved a question like before 2 to 3 years. Okay, and yesterday my friend asked me same question, and it took me like around 7 to 8 minutes to recall. to solve that question. Okay, this is how this question should be solved. The question is of hard DP. Okay, so we should have notes, fine. And like, can we do internship in C++ and DSA? Yes, it will be helpful if you are getting an internship in C++ and DSA. It will be very helpful. But please don't join unpaid internships. Please, instead of joining that internship, practice by yourself on YouTube, or you can buy any course. It's up to you. And also, the course was CIP course, in which I was telling roadmap. Now, if you want to buy that course, you can contact to me, okay, or you can contact to my team, as up to you. But please don't like move here and here for resources. Okay, stick to one resource. So, ma'am, please Delhi ka. Ma'am, Dell ka i3 4 GB RAM. If you want to prepare, you can. If you want to repair it, you can repair it. Okay, i3 4 GB is fine for doing coding. Okay, you don't need like a very we can say expensive laptop. A simple laptop will work. We just need to like 2-3 tabs, and we are able to log in that particular programming sites. That's fine. We don't need like very expensive laptop for coding. Okay, so I am ending today's session. Like I want to take more doubts, but this session is for 1 hour only. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can connect to me and you can ask your doubts. Okay, but please put your doubt completely. Okay, this is my doubt and this is the thing I want. Okay, and also lastly, I'll also say start your preparation. It's very easy to crack your dream company. It's very easy to crack Amazon, Google, both are dream companies. Okay, most of us know. It's very easy to crack Amazon, Microsoft, Google. They just need your efforts. If others can reach there, you can also reach. When I was having my Geeks for Geeks interview, like they called me and they asked me like first interview will be you need to make a video. I never like made a video, so I thought 100 times like should I give them a video, or I should tell to my parents. Like they rejected because my parents are very serious about my placements. So every time they ask what happened, mostly my mother. So I thought like I'll say okay they didn't select me because like we scared like for starting a new thing. But after having thousands of thoughts, I started making video and I made a video. And after that, I was sure they are not going to take me because I was not very good at English. I never like taught anything. So, but they selected me, and then again I was having 2 technical rounds. In that, I was confident because I did DSA and CP. And next, they told me that Sandeep Jansa, CEO of Geeksworks, they will be taking my like interview. So I thought like in this interview, I'm not able to clear because they will be checking and this particular student is able to work in my organization. And trust me, that was very easy. Everything was very easy. Okay. And at the end, they told me that next is HR round. So then I thought now to ab to nahi hoga, because in HR we generally think that they will ask me where you want to see yourself in 5 years, and there are some already answers are there, and I cannot cram things. So I thought like HR will not my cup of tea HR round, but trust me, in that round they just discuss salary, like this is salary we are providing and how much you want. That's it. So everything is easy, and if I didn't try that video, maybe I would not be here. I was just working as a SD. So try it once, at least try it. Maybe you will find your way. Maybe your journey will be very beautiful. So start it and give a try. But हाँ, जब भी हम लोग पढ़ने बैठेंगे स्टार्टिंग में 1-2 महीने बहुत स्ट्रेस होगा, पढ़ने का मन नहीं करेगा, इमोशंस आएंगे नेगेटिव कि नहीं करना, उसका हो रहा है, मेरा नहीं हो रहा. But you need to control everything and you need to focus on coding. That's it. Okay. So I think we are done with this session. So I think we should end this session now. Okay, so I am ending this session. Bye everyone. Take care. And take care and start your preparation as soon as possible.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, welcome. Bye everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So guys, we are concluding the session right now. You guys heard her, and she gave a very holistic approach on how to go about your career, and she also, like you guys noticed, shared her personal struggle, which is very rare to do. So we all are going back with something, and I hope every one of you, improve, and we just hope to see you during the P Club recruitments with more skills. So people were asking how to join P Club and all. We will be conducting a recruitment session after the end of this year, because right now people from first year are not that skilled. So we are expecting first year students to learn some sort of skill so that they can bring new things to the platter of P Club. So that was, one of the most requested question. Another one, which we think that we should let you know, that this Friday at around 5 p.m. we would be conducting a session on Linux, because Linux is very important when it comes to open source and all. So please do make sure to come there, and we will be having a short session where we'll go back and forth about all things open source and all. Which distribution of Linux will you use? Well, I will be actually showing everything in Linux Mint, which is basically Ubuntu. See, I would suggest everyone to install Ubuntu based, not Debian based, but Ubuntu based, because all of the packages are there. You can go about installing Arch or something and flex on your friends. That completely works, but for this we will be using Ubuntu based, or maybe even Ubuntu, who knows, right? So yeah, I hope you guys had fun, and I hope that you guys will start working hard. P Club recruitments are coming, so do rank up your resume, and we hope to see you soon on Friday. So thank you so much.